Bring it on.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Do you want the whole truth? I don't think you're ready.
Governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people.
It's Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth.
Wasn't it a case of the Mondays when the fax machine didn't work? I'll tell you, I may take my printer out to a field. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. What a way to start a Thursday. How is everybody doing? Oh, that's my printer speaking to me, telling me it's not going to print. I say, why? I put Crane the engineer on that earlier. Crane the engineer had to get more paper and put more paper in, and then I had to change the ink, and then the ink kind of went a little cattywampus. But so, anyway, you know how that works. I got to talk to that guy, Crane. I'm going to really give him a piece of my mind. So, Thursday, you know what we're going to be doing. Bottom of the hour, or a little closer to it, we are going to be speaking to our good friend, Pastor Aaron Free, about a foul-mouthed preacher. What? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Find out who it is. We also will be talking about bullying and what the Bible says about being a man. What does it mean to be a man? Didn't Boston sing a song like that? I don't know. I'm just throwing that one out there. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth will then hit Israel and Iran. Did we just capitulate to Iran having a nuclear weapon? We'll bring you the latest. And, of course, we can't go any further without getting to the Country Music Awards. The Country Music Awards are getting into Obamacare. Brad Paisley and the wonderful, I'm blanking on her name. I can't believe that. She is Carrie Underwood. Having a good time last night talking about Obamacare. Roll it.
Hey, do you have that Obamacare?
Obamacare? What's that? What's that?
Oh, it's great.
It's great?
It's great.
What is it?
I started signing up last Thursday and I'm almost done. Let's go to the website and get you signed up.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Let's see. This can't be too hard, right?
Why is it spinning?
Oh, it does that.
Okay. Why is it smoking?
I don't... Maybe we should restart it.
Obamacare by morning.
Why is this taking so long?
We'll have cataracts and dementia. Oh, this is getting on my last nerve. Obamacare by morning. Over 6 people served.
Oh, say a prayer for Obamacare. I say a prayer that they repeal it, personally. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. This is Thursday, so we will have the prayer at the end of this hour for those to come to Christ. And how do you get in on that? Well, you can go to the American Family Radio Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth page. Like the page. I hope you like it, because I'm trying to get up to 5,000 likes, and we're very close. And you all are really making an effort, and I appreciate all the communication. I read them all. I get back to the ones I can at the particular time, but I have to deal with Crane in research and Crane in editing and a whole host of things, so Crane gets pretty divided. That said, thank you. And you can check out that page, and you can put your name down or the people that you're praying for to come to Christ. I think of people in my own family, and I pray often for them to come to Christ. And it's amazing, the power of prayer, as you all know. You see it, and you have seen it. It is real. Speaking of real, being a real man, Dan the Man, Celia, he is on tour as we speak. He is part of the Faith, Family, and Finance Tour town halls that he has been going around the country, occasionally joined by his best half, giving speeches and town halls on just that, faith, family, and finance. And he's been doing this for a number of years now, and it's something that we could all learn from. Dan, Celia, Financial Issues, welcome back. How are you?
Thanks, Crane. I'm good and excited about doing the town hall meetings. We got 2 next week. We're going to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina on Tuesday evening. And then on Thursday evening, we're going to be in Amarillo, Texas. So they start at 6:30. They don't cost anything. We don't sell anything. We just have a good time. And they're going to hear a little bit of me uncensored, so to speak, talking about some things in the economy that we need to know and how to prepare. And it's a great time, and I hope people come out. Fayetteville, North Carolina, and on Tuesday and Wednesday or Thursday evening, we're in Amarillo. And folks can go to afr.net, Crane, afr.net, and they can get the exact location. You don't have to register. It doesn't cost anything. You can bring a busload of people, but we do like to get a head count. So if you could register and just say, yeah, 10 people coming, 2 people, whatever, that would help us make sure we have enough seats.
And Holiday Inn, Bordeaux.
Yes.
In Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yep.
On the 12th, 6:30 to 8:30. Dan, when people hear your show, you obviously connect big time. You're dealing with an issue that they need somebody they can trust on. They can do that with you. You got a great record of actually calling out what is going to happen. You don't make it about R's or D's. But a lot of people, including myself at times, when we're dealing with our finances, we feel we're kind of nervous about asking a question because we don't want to sound stupid.
Yeah.
And you deal with this a lot. When people come to this, they will be able to ask you questions, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we, we open up the floor and folks can ask their question. And afterwards, we try to get done we start at 6:30. We try to get done by about 8:45. But I stay until the hotel throws us out. Now, sometimes we try to be at a church. We couldn't get a church, but we'll stay, and I'll continue to answer questions. And what we usually find is people never leave. I mean, they just keep. They have such a good time, and we take all the questions. And there is no question. One thing that I hope and I pray about is I hope no one ever feels like I'm going to ever be, demeaning or think that the question is silly. I don't do that on the air with anybody. And that's very intentional because I don't believe that any question is a dumb question,
a silly question or a stupid question. Because the fact is, but that's how. I mean, in any conversation, especially on talk radio or when you go into public. The number one fear, and talk show hosts get this too, we don't want to sound silly. We don't want to sound goofy. And the great thing about dealing with Dan, you all know, and if you don't, if they don't know Dan yet, bring people to meet him because this is your opportunity to get connected and ask questions directly where you're not necessarily on hold at the time because Dan's on 2 hours a day. I encourage you to do that too with the program. My point is, look, we all feel that way. The best thing you could possibly do is attend this thing and ask the question because they're not stupid questions. They're not silly questions. And
no,
go ahead, Dan.
And know what, Crane?
Yeah.
One of the best parts, the thing I love the most is I love meeting the listeners. I always tell people I have such an advantage over so many other guys that are on the radio because I get to meet face to face with thousands of my listeners. And it's so cool because you get to hear a totally different perspective of, what they think about the program. Maybe you ought to try to go in this direction or that direction. But it's a lot of fun. You really get to feel the heartbeat of the people that are listening to you, and you gain so much from it. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
You're going to grow from this. When you have information and you go to a place where Dan Celia is going to be discussing faith, family, and finance, first off, you know that you're dealing with the true foundation. You're building it on the rock. But secondly, you have somebody who's able to communicate to people even like Crane Durham and explain economics to them. If he can do that, I mean, there's a lot this man can do. But Dan, they do talk. You do have a relationship with all of your listeners, and as we do in talk radio, we have this relationship, and a lot of people don't understand that. But when it comes to the finances, I think it goes a step further, because you're dealing with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the roof on the head, the roof over the head. This is their most precious resource. You're dealing with the resources of being able to survive, and a lot of people are scared right now, Dan. What do you have to say to them?
Yeah, a lot of people are scared, and one of the things that we try to talk about here, and I give some overviews, but talk about it on the radio as well, is how to prepare, some of the things you need to be thinking about. But, the greatest thing about being on the radio is that you get to give another side of the numbers. You're only hearing one thing. I did that this morning over the GDP number. Let me just give you the other side of the number. I don't want to try to be negative all the time, but I want people to understand the truth. And people are learning so much. There are people that listen for years that know so much about the economy they never thought they'd ever know. And it makes them a well-informed voter. And, one of the things that we've got to do if we're going to turn this country around is we've got to be informed. We got to know the issues and know how to vote on them. And we're doing that, and I really appreciate the opportunity God's given me to be able to have this forum to be able to do that, and it's a lot of fun, and I hope people come out because it's great. We get hundreds, thousands sometimes of people that come out, and that's why we ask people to register. I mean, we've had standing room only because we haven't had enough seats or a big enough room, and we don't ever want that to happen. And we've had that twice, and it's disappointing. So
they need to register, afr.net.
afr.net, and they click on the Faith, Family, and Finance banner there, and they'll be able to register and give us a head count. For these, it's important. I mean, we don't want anybody to drive down the road and say, I'd like to go, but I didn't register. We want you to all come. But the better head count we have, the better idea. And we have some giveaway things that we give away, and we like to have plenty of that as well.
This is an opportunity. Dan's obviously he's on the road a lot doing these, and his love for the country. That he has been speaking to this, but we have an obligation to inform ourselves and arm ourselves with that knowledge. And so I just encourage you all in Fayetteville on November 12th, 6:30 to 8:30. Just click on afr.net, click on the banner, Faith, Family, and Finance, and learn more about it. And lock in and make a commitment and bring some other folks there. This is people, our pastor said, bring people to church. Don't be afraid to ask them. Don't put it under the lamp, so to speak,
right.
The lampshade. Right. Let it flow. And this is your opportunity to meet Dan the Man, Celia. And as you know, you've probably already learned a great deal from him. You already know him. So why not introduce some others? Dan?
Yeah, it'll be great. We'd love to see Amarillo, Texas on Thursday night, and Tuesday in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We'll break down some of the numbers for you, talk a little bit about what's going on in Washington. I've got to do a little bit of that.
Amen, brother.
as it relates to the economy, of course. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that and take your questions and talk about some basic things that you need to know. I mean, I do a full-length seminar that's 4 hours long, and we really get into the weeds on that. This isn't that, of course. We're just giving some overviews, but information that you really need to know. So
if Dan's taking the time to do it, it's important. He's got very little time. He's very busy, but he has made a commitment to do this because he's out there, and he's talked about this before. Loves this country as we all do. But he's putting it on the line because he knows this is imperative to understanding how things are working in this country and to come from the foundation of the Christian worldview, biblical faith,
Amen.
Family, and finance. Dan, thanks for taking the time tonight, man. You are always the best. Thank you.
Yep. Look forward to getting back, Crane.
Absolutely,
I appreciate
bro.
you. Thank you, brother.
Always. You too. Safe travels. All right, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 6:30 to 8:30. That's November 12th, Tuesday. And Thursday, November 14th, Amarillo, Texas, afr.net. afr.net. Just check it out. Trust me. If you go, you're going to have a good time. You're going to learn. You're going to connect. It's a win-win-win. Crane Durham's nothing but truth. On the flip side, Pastor Aaron Free. AFR Talk.